Dutton Ranch begins with a terrible fire in Montana that begs the question of Kayce Dutton's, Luke Grimes, whereabouts. Executive produced by Taylor Sheridan and created by Chad Feehan, Paramount Plus' Dutton Ranch is the second Yellowstone spin-off/sequel, and exists alongside Kayce's solo vehicle, Marshals on CBS. In Dutton Ranch, Beth Dutton, Kelly Riley, Rip Wheeler, Cole Hauser, and Carter, Finn Little, are building a new life in South Texas. Far from the Duttons' Montana legacy, Beth, Rip, and Carter encounter new challenges, find allies, and run afoul of the power brokers in Rio Paloma like Beulah Jackson, Annette Benning, of the Ten Petals Ranch. However, Dutton Ranch's series premiere kicks off with a devastating fire that claims the Montana ranch Beth and Rip bought in Yellowstone's series finale. The Dutton Wheelers lost nearly everything in the blaze before they decided to start over in the Lone Star State. Yet Beth and Rip didn't call out to Kayce for help in their darkest hour. Kayce was in East Camp during Dutton Ranch's fire. Dutton Ranch is set 1 year after Yellowstone, so, logically, Kayce Dutton was living in East Camp during the Montana fire. After Kayce sold the Yellowstone Dutton Ranch to the Broken Rock Reservation, he, Monica, Kelsey Bill, and Tate Dutton, Brecken Merrill, lived happily in their new home until cancer tragically claimed Monica's life. Dutton Ranch's fire was seen in flashbacks set 6 months before Beth and Rip's present day. Although the exact post-Yellowstone timeline is fuzzy, Dutton Ranch's present day should roughly line up with Marshals Season 1, since the events of Kayce's spin-off happen in the ballpark of about a year after Yellowstone. If the Dutton Ranch fire happened roughly 6 months after Yellowstone, then Kayce not only was living in East Camp, but he was likely also tending to the dying Monica. However, Kayce must have been aware of the Montana fire, which would have been all over the news and hard to miss, even from East Camp. East Camp is located near the Broken Rock Reservation, while Beth and Rip's ranch was 40 miles west of Dillon, Montana, which was also southwest of the Yellowstone Dutton Ranch's former land. If Kayce's heroic instincts had kicked in, he likely would have had to cross the fire's path to help Beth and Rip. Dutton Ranch and Marshals can have a future Yellowstone crossover Paramount, via MovieStills.db. Dutton Ranch's series premiere doesn't show Beth contacting Kayce. Rather, Rip says he called everyone we know, which must include Kayce. Ultimately, it was Walker, Ryan Bingham, who pointed Beth and Rip to the Edwards Ranch in Rio Paloma, Texas. Beth, Rip, and Carter left Montana immediately. Kayce, meanwhile, stayed home in East Camp. Marshals series creator and executive producer has sprinkled in name drops of Beth and Rip, keeping the potential for a crossover with Dutton Ranch alive. Kelly Riley has expressed her hopes for a Yellowstone crossover as well. Dutton Ranch is bound to mention Kayce at some point, leaving the door open for a future Dutton siblings reunion. Just as Marshals Season 1 focused on Kayce's challenging new career in federal law enforcement, Dutton Ranch Season 1's top agenda is establishing Beth and Rip in Rio Paloma. A post-Yellowstone crossover is way down the line for both series. Fortunately, Marshals is a ratings juggernaut on CBS and Dutton Ranch is expected to be just as huge on Paramount Plus, meaning that both Yellowstone spin-offs ought to be around for a while. Marshals is already assured a second season, and Dutton Ranch seems like a slam dunk for Season 2 as well. Dutton Ranch and Marshals prospering on their respective networks, which are both conveniently owned by Paramount Skydance, bodes well for Kayce and Beth Dutton, along with Rip Wheeler, getting back in the saddle together. For now, Kayce is firmly entrenched in Montana while Beth and Rip now call Texas home.